Hi there. This is Healing After Loss, and my name is ML. And as always, I'm going to read from this book, Healing After Loss, Daily Meditations for Working Through Grief by Martha Whitmore Hickman. If you'd like your own copy of this book, there's an affiliate link below. And otherwise, if you get benefit from these sessions, then please do all the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, comment, so that we can have a conversation. Before I begin today is Wednesday, 27 May, 2026. I just want to speak to recent loss. I have no idea what today's text is going to cover, but I have a very good friend who just recently lost one of her dogs, and she's been through this relatively recently since my cat Smokey died a year ago. She's lost one or more dogs in the past year, and it just happens that they all happen to be at that stage in their life where they're passing now, and it's really hard for her specifically because of the relationships that she had with these dogs. So this series isn't just for people who have lost family members or dear friends or spouses or their children, we're not just talking about people. I started this series because of the loss of my cat, Smokey, a year ago. But I try to relate everything in this book of meditations to whatever loss you might be grieving. I know recently-ish, in the past few years, there were significant wildfires. There's significant things causing a lot of loss and a lot of grief all around the world, but specifically for me here at home, where I live, my community is deeply affected by loss and grief. So I hope that my series manages to touch, at least just lightly touch, on the grief that the people that I personally know are undergoing, and in a broader sense touch whoever you are, whoever you might happen to be, and whatever grief you personally might happen to be experiencing right now. So know that I'm here for you. I'm going to keep doing these things until you all tell me to shut up. Today is Wednesday, 27 May. Let's begin. I wouldn't mind dying young. I've had a full life already. Mary Hickman. This book was written by Martha Whitmore Hickman, so I'm sure she's related in some way to the author. We who have lost loved ones through sudden accidents find ourselves scouring our memories for portents. Were there any clues, any indicators that something terrible like this might happen? If we can find them, perhaps they inject a measure of meaning into a life thrown into chaos. On some conscious level, did our loved one know? My daughter, Martha Whitmore Hickman's daughter, made that statement casually during the months preceding her sudden death at 16 in a horseback riding incident. "Mary," I said, "one world at a time." After she died, I remembered her words. Had she known better than I? And what is going on that it may be possible to have some vague foreknowledge of an event like that? If that is possible, what other unfathomable mysteries exist in a universe of which we may know only the smallest fragment. These signs and wonders do not mitigate the sorrow of loss, but they may give us hope that on some level, a transcendent scheme is at work and knows what it's doing. I will keep my mind open to all possibilities of knowledge and faith. Okay, so this actually does speak to my friend who lost her dog. She was beating herself up because she didn't spend the day with the dog. The dog didn't die in her arms. And she kept referencing the fact that she'd had a good morning, that the dog had eaten well, and that everything was going fine. And then she left to do her work. And my only response to that is maybe the dog knew. Maybe the dog wanted her to go to work so that she could die in peace. It's hard. It's tough. When Mommy died almost 20 years ago, she started her adventure going to a funeral of her brother and spent 2 to 3 weeks visiting with all of her remaining family. And she was one of many children. So she spent 2 or 3 weeks just enjoying her family. And the last person she was related to, the last person who spoke with her that we know before she died, is my brother. And she was killed in a horrible accident, a car accident, on a stretch of highway that it shouldn't have happened. And because of my mother's faith, because of the way she lived her life, I believe in my heart that God told her she was next. But not to her brain, not to her mind. Not that she had the thought that she was next. But I believe her soul knew it. I believe that she knew she was next. Deep in her soul, in her unconscious being. And that's why she spent her last 2 to 3 weeks of life living it up with her remaining family. She went out with a bang, but she lived a full life. And like Martha's daughter Mary may or may not have known that she was next, she appreciated that she had lived a full life. So, whoever you are, whoever or whatever you're grieving, if it is possible that the loss of that person or animal could possibly have known, then take some comfort in that, I guess. Try to take some comfort in that. That even though we didn't know, even though we couldn't have known, there's no way we could have known these sudden passings, that they did, and they were okay with it, that they were ready to let go. Let's read the meditation one more time, and I'll leave you until next week. I will keep my mind open to all possibilities of knowledge and faith. Until next Wednesday, take care of yourself and give yourself some grace.